You're a suburban punk, just like me.
Hey everyone, welcome to Florida 2004 at E3. Look at this crowd, it is definitely going to be a wild show. We've got over 1,000 never-before-seen games and vendors to show you, over 400 exhibitors, bunches more. This is, as you know, E3's 10th anniversary, and I gotta tell you, every year it gets better and better. Right now we're gonna check in with Oliver, who's in the West Hall.
All right, Stacy, we're here right at the very front of the line, E3 2004. The crowd's behind me. Make some noise, boys. You guys ready to get up inside here?
Let us in! Let us in!
What do you guys want to see this year, man? What's everybody looking forward to?
Oh man, it's gotta be Metal Gear Solid 3, man.
PlayStation 2 is still hotter than ever, but Xbox's big guns loom big over the show.
Halo 2 is going to be awesome, you know, with the game, the first game how it was, you know it's only going to get better.
Met with rapturous applause at their press event, Nintendo is looking to have the show of its life.
Nintendo's got a great lineup too with the DS, and they got the new Zelda coming out and everything too.
As fast as we can, we're going to show you the hottest stuff that E3 has to offer.
We're going to uncover some hidden gems, and we are going to do the stories that you want to see. So log on and cast your vote for Send an Agent. All right, Stacy, they just rang the bell, and everybody is on their way. E3 2004 is officially started.
So hang on, everyone. You're about to get floored. There's so much to see this year, so we made a beeline for one of the show's hottest games, Unreal Championship 2 from Atari. I'm here with my old pal, Cliffy B. Aw. So tell me, what's going on? What's new? What's hot?
We are showing off Unreal Championship 2 here at the Microsoft booth for Xbox. It's Xbox exclusive, and the whole pitch for this game is bring a knife to a gunfight.
Unreal Championship 2 is no PC port. It's being built ground up for the Xbox, taking full advantage of the console's powerhouse visuals.
You have guys who have swords, you have guys who have staffs, you have guys who use their fists against guys with rocket launchers and insane, energy weapons.
Atari has taken a major cue from the blockbuster Grand Theft Auto series, which successfully fused driving with shooting with absolute mayhem. Unreal Championship 2 welds together fighting and shooting, delivering incredible Xbox action.
You look at Unreal Championship 2, it has, ranged weapons from rocket launchers, and then it has melee weapons. So you see this kind of Unreal meets Soul Calibur gameplay. We decided that, a lot of other games are going with the whole Halo route, they're doing the vehicles. We're famous for zigging when other companies zag.
Atari and Cliffy B, expert video game designer and professional zagger, hopes to have Unreal Championship 2 in stores by this holiday season. E3 2004 opened with ESA President Doug Lowenstein giving us the lowdown on the state of the industry. Interactive entertainment is big business, even bigger than the movie business. E3 kicked off with some predictions and trends for the industry. ESA President Doug Lowenstein looks ahead.
I see a trend toward more community-based gaming.
Every year, game makers try to grab gamers with new innovations.
Games are going to get even more realistic and sound better than they do today in the next decade.
Midway is taking the fight online with Mortal Kombat Deception for the PlayStation 2 and Xbox. See if Oliver gets a black eye.
The violent and popular fighting series Mortal Kombat finally goes live with the release of Mortal Kombat Deception for the PS2 and Xbox. Co-creator Ed Boon says there are 24 playable characters, and
we have 4 different modes of play, which we've never done in a Mortal Kombat game. We have a puzzle game, a board game, a single-player adventure game, as well as online on both PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Are the fatalities in this one also going to be background specific?
A lot of the backgrounds have fatalities specific to them, and they're actually used in the fight, so it's a certain area of the background that you knock your opponent into.
With all of the new features, including hidden characters, multiple fatalities, breakaway levels, and destructible environments, Mortal Kombat Deception is one fighting game that will definitely hurt them more than it hurts you.
Only a few hours into the expo, and gamers are already running to see gorgeous hybrid fighters and shooters, witness the unveiling of the online Mortal Kombat, and get their mitts on the new handhelds from Nintendo and Sony. E3 is at top speed, and Floored will keep you on top of all the spectacles and surprises.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
This show is huge, almost as huge as Microsoft Xbox exclusive Halo 2. The original Halo defined the Xbox launch in 2001 and sold millions worldwide. 3 years later, the Master Chief is back in the saddle, blasting the Covenant in one of the biggest games of the show, Microsoft's Halo 2. Halo 2 is only being shown at exclusive appointments, but Floored RSVP'd a seat just for you. One of the hottest games being shown this year at E3 is Halo 2, which isn't going to be released until November 9th. But we had to get you through 3 separate doors, security, everything to get you into this very room to show you a sneak peek. Take a look.
A little background here. The year is 2552, and after a long, hard fight, the human outer colonies have fallen to the Covenant.
Halo 2's hottest feature, though, is online play, shown for the first time at E3, allowing gamers to jack into Xbox Live and duke it out with explosive weapons and a garage full of sci-fi vehicles. Halo 2 touches down in only 6 short months, and with millions of Halo fans lining up to take you down online, you'd better use the time to practice. Oliver takes the red pill and jacks into the Matrix at Sega's bombshell online announcement.
Sega has dropped a bombshell on gamers with its unveiling of a new way to play one of your favorite franchises. Partnering with Warner Brothers, Sega will unleash the all-new, massively multiplayer online role-playing experience, The Matrix Online. And here's a look at what you can expect.
The 4th installment to the PC, taking off after the last movie has ended, and players get the chance to control the Matrix and let them write their own destiny within the Matrix.
And what makes this online playing experience different from the competition?
It has the wire-fu gameplay, it has all the special effects that people love from the movie, and the fact that you get to control the destiny of the mythology and be able to have an active participation in that is a never-before-seen thing in games.
With Super Brawls and boasting one of the largest playable game environments to ever exist, gamers will have a hard time unplugging themselves from The Matrix Online this November.
You want to see the entire West Hall? You want to see it in 15 seconds? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Not your usual way into the E3 Expo Pavilion, the U.S. Army made a dramatic entry, dropping in via a Black Hawk helicopter. The Special Forces team are here to promote America's Army, the official U.S. Army game. Gamers are lining up for a sneak peek at Valve's gorgeous Half-Life 2, and Oliver's got the scoop.
Half-Life 2 is one of the show's hottest tickets, with gamers waiting in long lines just to sneak a peek of gameplay footage in an exclusive Half-Life 2 theater. Inside the darkened theater, gamers oohed and ahed to the anticipated first-person shooter in motion, showing off Valve's incredible graphics engine, which produces some of the best PC visuals yet.
We're showing Half-Life 2 again, and everybody's very excited. They're saying this is great. That's our big focus, getting it out this summer. The biggest problem was that we bit off more than we could chew.
So with the release nailed down, we asked Mr. Newell about last year's hack attack that set development back.
Some people broke into our network, downloaded the source code, and distributed it on the internet. That was very demoralizing for us.
Half-Life 2 has only been confirmed for the PC. However, console gamers don't need to go computer shopping yet.
Yeah, right now we're planning on doing an Xbox version. As far as anything else, we'll have to see.
So that wraps up this episode of Floored, but coming up next, we're going to give you a tour of Microsoft's mammoth booth, and you're going to get to look at Ubisoft's outrageous lineup. Stick around, you're going to get floored.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
And now it is time for the much anticipated RPG. This is your sneak peek of Fable.
Fable is so cool because everything that you do determines a lot of other things in the game. For instance, you walk around, you talk to somebody, you treat them nice, they'll treat you nice back. You can do lewd comments to people and they will actually say, oh my gosh, I can't believe that he did that to me. Everything that you do, every quest that you take can determine whether you're good or evil.
Will you do unto others or indulge your dark side?
You can grow taller, dozens of different weapons, tattoos. So many great things about this game. How you play determines what you look like. You'll actually grow horns if you're evil. You'll grow a halo if you're good, depending on what quests you take and how you participate in that quest.
Long in development, Fable is almost ready for release this year on Xbox. Let's see if you can keep your dark side in check. Acclaim is turning to comics for inspiration for its latest epic, Red Star.
I know what you guys are thinking. What's new? It's another comic book turned into a video game, but check the Red Star out.
The X-Men, Spider-Man, and the Hulk. Just a few examples of superheroes powering their way into your favorite systems. But there's always room for one more.
What's the premise of the Red Star comic series?
Premise of the Red Star comic series, it's a bunch of soldiers fighting for the United Republics of the Red Star, a totalitarian empire that they realize is corrupt.
And how does Red Star recreate the action of the comic book series?
We really wanted to bring the hardcore into the mainstream. So there's also, for all you fans of Double Dragon, Final Fight, those kinds of games, it's that kind of brawl. It's really up close and personal, very fast action. Like I said, arcade-style gameplay, so when you can pick it up and go.
Everyone loves classic old-school action games with cooperative gameplay and explosive graphics. The Red Star by Acclaim looks to bring this exciting comic book series to life on your PS2 and Xbox this September.
Hundreds of gamers are piling into Microsoft's booth to see the hottest games for Xbox. Microsoft is concentrating its South Hall booth on the Xbox exclusively. And with over 100 game stations, software is king at Microsoft. I'm here with David Hufford of Microsoft, who's going to tell us about all the big announcements at the press conference this week. Where do we start?
Let's start with EA on Xbox Live. I mean, we're going to have all the great EA games on the Xbox Live service starting this summer with the NCAA football title. So, you know, people can get up online, they can wear the headsets, they can trash talk each other, find their friends easily. It's a huge coup for us. So we're really excited about it. It's going to grow the Xbox Live community exponentially.
Some of the booth's biggest games are Unreal Championship 2, Fable, and Halo 2. But Microsoft has plenty more for Xbox fans.
Well, we've got more than 170 game stations out here. And as you can see, the booth is designed to really wow people from the moment they walk in.
That's over 170 chances to get your thumbs on these incredible Xbox games.
This is about games, man. We wanted it to be a great games environment.
Ubisoft is going to war this year on several fronts, and we saw them all at their booth. When it comes to military gaming, Ubisoft is bringing out the big guns. Literally. So big announcements for Ubisoft. Let's talk about, what do we got? Ghost Recon 2.
Ghost Recon 2 is the sequel to one of the biggest brands we have. Ghost Recon is a million-selling game, and Ghost Recon 2, coming out in November, is going to be huge for us. It's one of our key brands here at the show.
Brothers in Arms?
Brothers in Arms is Ubisoft's entry into the World War II genre. It's developed by a group down in Texas called Gearbox, and it really captures the emotions of the soldiers as they go through these experiences together. It's something that hasn't been captured in a World War II game before, and it's our biggest new brand this year.
Okay, and what about Prince of Persia 2?
This year we see a darker, meaner, tougher Prince. He's a little older now. He's a little more worldly. He has 2 swords and armor, and he's much more aggressive than he was in the first one.
And now it's time to make your big announcement that everybody's been waiting for. What is it?
We're very pleased to announce that Splinter Cell 3 is going to be out for Christmas. Splinter Cell 3 raises the bar higher than people thought it could go. And just as Splinter Cell 1 revolutionized the stealth genre by the way it used lighting, Splinter Cell 3 and the graphics in that game are beyond what anyone else is showing at the entire E3 show.
Get ready to drop into enemy territory this holiday season. Ubisoft! Well, that wraps up day one here at E3, but keep checking back in to see even more big games like Metal Gear Solid 3 and Star Wars Battlefront. You got 2 more days to get floored.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
Day 2 of E3 2004 is underway and Florida's back in action, showing you the hottest games like EverQuest 2.
Fans of online role-playing games can rejoice with the imminent release of EverQuest 2.
Well, we're going to have all the playable races that you had in EverQuest 1, plus we're adding a new race called the Rotanga. We also have some of the old stuff that you've expected in EverQuest 1, but it's been changed. There's been an apocalypse, there's been a cataclysm. There's this event called the Shattering, where the moon has exploded, rained down on the Earth below, or on the land of Norath below.
Choosing from 16 different races, 48 classes, hundreds of creatures, and thousands of new items and spells, who doesn't want to dive right in? Now, if you can't wait until its release, John gives us more insight on how you can start adventuring early.
We are excited about getting into beta. We have announced our registration for that at www.everquest2, that's number 2.com.
All right, so we just got out of there, man. EverQuest 2 looks to be sick. We didn't get a date, but I'm sure it's going to be coming up soon. We can't wait.
Sega's booth spotlights sports, anime heroes, and an iToy title that let me really get into the game. Sega is more than just Sonic the Hedgehog. The gaming giant is storming E3 with its exciting mix of sports and hardcore entertainment games. Sports games are huge this year at E3, and right now it's time to check out some of Sega and ESPN's hot new titles. Oh, dribble. Me. Shoot! She scores! Sports are obviously a big theme here at E3 2004. Nobody has a connection to ESPN like Sega.
When you sit down and play one of our games, you're going to feel like you're watching an ESPN broadcast.
Sega has every sport covered from hockey to hoops, but is really proud of its online pigskin game, ESPN NFL 2005.
Visuals this year in NFL are just unmatched. It's one thing we focus with each of our titles is to make the games look real.
Sega's not just about sports, of course, it's on entertainment too. Astro Boy is based on the classic Japanese cartoon starring the Metal Boy with superpowers controlled by a human brain. And Sega makes you the star of the game in Sega Superstars.
Sega Superstars is an exciting way to revitalize our classic franchises. We're using the iToy, Sony's new peripheral, and we are creating a bunch of new mini-games that allow you to play with Sonic the Hedgehog, Knights, House of the Dead, Crazy Taxi.
It looks so fun. I just had to get a piece of the action. Sorry, Sonic. Electronic Arts, Microsoft, IDOS, and THQ are showing off the big games in the South Hall. But we took the Express tour. Here's the South Hall in 15 seconds. Ready, set, go! Metal Gear Solid 3 is big at E3, but Solid Snake had plenty of company at the Konami booth.
Snakes, wrestlers, monsters? I'd better watch out as I venture deep into the bowels of Konami and check out their hot new titles. Rumble Roses is the first ladies-only wrestling title featuring beautiful female models and amazing gameplay. You can change personas and wrestle in the mud, but be careful. These ladies mean business.
All right, so I'm here at the Rumble Roses booth at Konami. Now, you guys remember last year I got in the ring with the backyard wrestler, got roughed up a little bit. Well, now I got some good-looking competition. What's up, girls? What are your names?
My name is Jeannie, a.k.a. Reiko.
And you are, dear?
Lana, a.k.a. Dixie.
And see, what they don't know is I'm their worst nightmare. Whew. God, I had to get the heck out of that wrestling ring, man. Metal Gear Solid 3. Let's check this out.
Solid Snake is back in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, but this time you'll need more than weapons, traps, and camouflage techniques to survive. You'll also need a fork? Yep, Solid Snake must now eat to survive in his new adventure. Hunting and killing your own food is the biggest addition to the game, and in order to stay focused, you've got to stay full.
All right, so we heard about Metal Gear Solid 3. What else is going on at Konami?
Show off your fancy feet with Dance Dance Revolution Ultra Mix 2, featuring a bigger music library, online tournaments, downloadable songs, and even a workout mode. It's time to turn off the lights and face your worst nightmares when Silent Hill 4 The Room unleashes for your Xbox and PS2. Now you're trapped in your apartment, and all new monsters and spirits are going to try to impede your escape. Explore areas such as a prison, a hotel, and even a forest. Get ready to get scared when you try to escape The Room.
What an action-packed display of games coming from Konami. Look for these holiday titles that will keep your gaming skills in check and your appetite for destruction filled.
Astro Boy and Metal Gear, and we're just warming up. Check back later for Star Wars gaming and Nintendo's new DS handheld, only on Floored.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
We're halfway through day 2 at E3 2004, and Oliver just got his mitts on the new Nintendo DS.
You've all seen the Nintendo DS in our press conference coverage, but seeing the system isn't good enough. We're about to floor you with in-depth coverage of the games that are going to hit one of the hottest new handhelds ever created.
This is DS Metroid Prime Hunters, and what's really cool about it is it takes the Metroid franchise and it moves it into a 3D multiplayer game. The bottom screen shows your character, the top screen is showing a map of the area.
Along with Metroid Prime Hunters, the DS is going to give you your Wario fix with the all-new WarioWare Inc.
WarioWare Incorporated DS is another game that's in development for the Nintendo DS, and it takes the WarioWare concept that started out on the Game Boy Advance and then just was released on the Nintendo GameCube, you know, of quick 5-second mini games. It brings it into a new realm with the incorporation of the touch screen.
But it doesn't end there. Nintendo hasn't forgotten its mascot franchise player. There's a new Super Mario Bros. Game in the works, and once again, you'll be in control of Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Wario as you lick the bad guys in an all-new adventure. How much more do you want? Well, how about Super Mario Kart, PictoChat, and Animal Crossing DS? The Nintendo DS looks to be the one gift that will be going fast this holiday season.
Next, we headed to Infinium Labs to get the lowdown on Phantom. The Nintendo DS and Sony PSP aren't the only new hardware at E3 2004. We take a peek at the latest gaming innovation, Phantom.
The Phantom Gaming Service is really the first on-demand gaming service that lets you get access to any game anytime from the comfort of your home. We include a piece of hardware, what we call the Phantom Game Receiver, which is some fairly sophisticated technology, but it's designed really to fit into the living room, to connect to the television in a broadband connection, and let you get access to just an enormous library of games from the couch.
Instead of heading to the store to buy games, Phantom downloads them right over your broadband connection. And this Phantom is about to materialize in your living room soon.
We're going to be launching the service on November 18th of this year, and for me that kind of seems like an eternity.
But we've saved the best news for last.
We're going to give the hardware away for free to anybody who signs up for a 2-year service contract, just like a cell phone.
Now I know that all you gamers are excited to find out what games you can access on Phantom, but you gotta wait a little longer. Infinium Labs isn't releasing that info until the beginning of August. Saturday morning cartoons to go are being served up at Majesco's booth.
Now, SpongeBob SquarePants may live in a pineapple under the sea, but he's moving into your pocket this summer in Majesco's new line of Game Boy Advance video cartridges.
We launched with 12 different products, all top properties from Nickelodeon, SpongeBob, to Dora the Explorer, to Cartoon Network, to Sonic.
Majesco's exclusive technology can push 45 minutes of Saturday morning fun on a single Game Boy Advance cartridge. But Majesco has even bigger plans.
We'll be introducing feature-length content in time for the holidays, and that's up to 90 minutes.
And Majesco has even more plans to pimp out the Game Boy Advance. This fall, get ready to chat it up with Majesco's new wireless GBA Messenger.
It just functions like a kind of AOL chat between two Game Boys. Has a range up to 3 miles in like open areas and about up to a mile in the city.
These SpongeBob videos are going faster than the Krusty Krab's Krabby Patties, so you better snag one now.
Finally, Oliver got a sneak peek at LucasArts' new Star Wars game, Battlefront.
All right, Stacy, I'm here. I'm at the LucasArts booth, and we're going to take a look at Star Wars Battlefront.
We set out to make the definitive Star Wars game. You can play any side, you can play any soldier, you can drive any vehicle. Our motto kind of was, if you saw it in the movies, you should be able to play it in the game.
And that's all of the movies, including the upcoming super secret Episode 3, which LucasArts is tight-lipped about. Instead, they're showing off intense online gameplay.
We have 16-player online support for PlayStation 2 and Xbox. We have 32 players for the PC, all with voice communication.
That's right, you can talk smack and dish out Darth Vader-style justice on the Star Wars universe's most deserving targets. Battlefront joins LucasArts' other Star Wars game, Republic Commando, on shelves this fall.
We've still got one more Florida on the way today, so stick around for more amazing games from E3 2004.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
It's the end of day 2, and the E3 buzz continues, especially around Doom 3 for Microsoft.
All right, guys, it is finally here, the third chapter in the Doom franchise, and stick tight, I'm going to get you the scoop. Tell me what's new and exciting about this chapter in the Doom series.
Well, what we've got here is Doom 3 Xbox, which is completely exciting for us. We're wrapping up Doom 3 on the PC. It's going to be out this summer. We've got an entirely new graphics rendering paradigm that John Carmack has created. It creates a world of just deep atmosphere.
And if you think bloodthirsty demons from Mars look scary, wait until you hear them.
We have just an unbelievable sound design, 6-channel surround. It encapsulates you, makes you got demons coming up from behind you, little whisperings off in the distance. Just terrifying, terrifying gameplay. We're really trying to make the living room the scariest place in your house.
Doom 3 for the Xbox follows the PC version this summer, and it promises to live up to all the hype.
He's big, he's hot, and now he's immortalized in video game. Take a look at Vin Diesel in the Chronicles of Riddick. Do movies influence games, or do games influence movies? Well, you get to decide. Take a look at Vin Diesel's anti-hero. Here's Riddick.
What's hell without a little fire?
Riddick Escape from Butcher Bay is a game based off the mythology from the Riddick universe, which consists of Pitch Black, the film from 2000, as well as the Chronicles of Riddick movie that comes out June 11th. What that means to the gamer at home who plays the game, the experience he sees in the game will sync up and match nicely with both the original movie and the sequel.
What about the influence of the actual film, Pitch Black, or the upcoming Chronicles of Riddick? What influence has that had on the game?
We took most of our influences from both the character of Riddick, and he's played in the game literally by Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel was at E3 to hype Riddick.
Vin is an avid gamer. He loves video games. He can't stop talking about them, so he's a natural to be in a game.
Riddick surely won't be Vin Diesel's last game appearance either. He has his own studio, Tygon, that is actively producing new games. Riddick lands exclusively on Xbox on June 1st. At E3, it's tough to create a booth that's really different. But check out this one. We trekked over to Atari's booth to get our hands on Transformers, Driver 3, and Terminator 3 Redemption. But imagine our surprise when we got there. No games. Okay, believe it or not, I'm actually sitting in the Atari booth. Last year we walked in, we were inundated with multimedia. This year, we've got a bar, we've got bartenders, we've got waitresses, we've got a DJ, and we've got Wim Stocks of Atari who's gonna tell us what's going on here.
This is unusual for us. We've never really had quite a space like this. The last couple years, we've felt that the noise and distraction and just the overall dilution of messages has caused us to step away from a traditional approach.
You guys are actually showing no game demos. There are no game demos.
We are showing, in front of getting into the space, we're actually showing Driver 3, which is our big release coming in the latter part of June.
Instead of games, Atari was showing off artwork inspired by their classic logo and custom consoles like this 50 Cent designed PS2.
We've felt that this is a far more productive use of the space, far more productive use of our time and energy, and every one of our partners who's been here to see us thinks it's just the greatest departure.
And I had a hard time departing from Atari's hip E3 paradise. Who else would we send to this one but Oliver? Oliver, you behave.
If you think you've got what it takes to be successful with the ladies, then Playboy the Mansion is your ticket into centerfold heaven.
Oh yeah, done with work, time for some after-hours entertainment. Hey ladies, what's going on? How y'all doing today?
Whoa, you are not allowed to touch us.
Touch? I didn't touch anybody. What are you talking about? I swear to God, I didn't touch anybody. What's the deal? Whoa, whoa, whoa!
This game rocks. In this game, you are Hugh Hefner. You actually control him, move him around with a controller. You build the Playboy Mansion. You get to design it the way you want it to be. You can either build the actual mansion or your own mansion. While you're building that mansion, you're doing it so it can be the best place to party.
Playboy the Mansion boasts a fully 3D environment, including multiple Playboy estate areas, hundreds of celebrities like Carmen Electra herself, and the ability to play over a dozen different campaigns. So get ready to rub shoulders with the elite and live the Playboy lifestyle. You'll have your hands full with fame, wealth, and lots of funnies.
Ready for another booth tour? These guys have a lot to show. Here's Oliver doing Nintendo.
Nintendo is giving you even more reasons to lock yourself in your room. We're going to take a look at some of the Big Ant's hottest new action and RPG titles for the GameCube.
What do we have here?
This is a big favorite of mine, Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. This is a follow-up of one of the games of the year from 2003, Metroid Prime. This takes Samus on a whole new adventure. She also has new weaponry, new items, as well as some classic items from earlier Metroid games. There's a 4-player mode. This is something the fans asked for in the last game, and really this year Nintendo is giving the gamers what they want.
That's a great idea for a game, Little Italian Plumber Guy. When did you guys come up with that?
I know, it's really wild. This is our new role-playing adventure for Mario called Paper Mario 2. But this is a role-playing game that is more of an action role-playing game. In this one, you actually have to time your hits. And so there's a little action and skill involved in all the battles.
But don't think Nintendo is settling on just using your skills with a controller. You're also going to be tested with your skills on the Congo?
This is our new rhythm game called Donkey Konga. It's going to be great fun. It's for the Nintendo GameCube exclusively. It's coming out September 27th. It uses over 30 popular songs, and it comes packaged with a special DK bongo.
With the addition of Resident Evil 4, Pikmin 2, and an all-new Star Fox, Nintendo is definitely letting everyone know that the GameCube is one system you don't want to mess with.
Woo! Day 2 over already. My dogs are killing me. I gotta tell you, I'm having a ball. There's still so much more to see. Make sure you check back tomorrow. You've got one more day to get floored.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
You asked for it, so we're gonna deliver. Thanks for responding to Send an Agent. For the first time, Blizzard's World of Warcraft is entering into the massive multiplayer online role-playing game genre. Take a look.
It's an opportunity to see familiar Warcraft units up close. You play with the Horde or an Alliance, the Orcs, the Dwarves, the Night Elves, the Undead. It offers 9 different classes, 8 different races. You're playing online with thousands of other people. It's real easy to jump into, real fun.
Keep voting on Send an Agent and we'll get you floored. Now, NCSoft, known for its diverse online entertainment, has a bunch of new games to show off.
NCSoft is gonna blow you away with some of the coolest titles to hit your PC. Ultima creator Richard Garriott gives gamers an all-new original world with Tabula Rasa.
Tabula Rasa is a game we're trying to make for people who don't have hours and hours of time to play, so they can get in quickly, find their friends, and go on missions that are really more focused like a single-player game than you would find in most massively multiplayer games.
Get ready to immerse yourself in this richly detailed world where you'll fight unique alien creatures, use music and mind scrolls as weapons, and play in a world that's part Star Wars, part Matrix, and part Crouching Tiger. NCSoft is shooting for a winter release. Along with that massive upcoming release, senior developer Ryan Seabury breaks down the car-wrecking smashfest Auto Assault.
Auto Assault is the world's first post-apocalyptic, massively multiplayer vehicular combat game. The big key features of it are obviously the vehicular combat, very fast-paced action, and fully destructible environments. We're using the Havoc 2 physics engine, and so everything you see out in the world you can pretty much blow up.
And the online action doesn't stop there. Another hot new title is the much-anticipated Guild Wars.
Guild Wars is a competitive online role-playing game, and what I mean by competitive is not necessarily just player versus player. What it means is that it's a game of player skill. In Guild Wars, you go where you want to go immediately. You don't have to travel across thousands of miles of virtual terrain to get where you want to go. You find your friends, you click where they are, you go there immediately, you're in the game and you're playing it.
So whether you're hungering for online role-playing action or the chance to experience some extreme road rage, NCSoft is making sure you're going to have a good time in their virtual world.
Namco's been in the play business for more than 50 years. Let's see what's new for this one. Namco's best-selling franchises are making their debut here at E3. So if you thought you'd seen the last of Ace Combat and Dead to Rights, think again.
Ace Combat 5, we got improved graphics, a bigger story mode, a bigger campaign mode, a lot more missions, a lot more planes, and we've got CG movies to tell you a great story.
Look for Ace Combat 5 this fall. Now we take you from the blue skies above to the blacktop streets below.
Dead to Rights 2 is the return of Jack Slate and his canine companion, Shadow. Jack will have the ability to use all different types of mechanics at the same time. That's the slow motion dive. We'll have 13 different disarms. We've got up to 30 different weapons, including real-life submachine guns, everything from an MP5 down to a Colt 45 pistol to melee weapons. We've got an entirely new melee fighting system, along with a combo hand-to-hand fighting system as well.
Don't worry, RPG fans. Namco has you covered with Xenosaga Episode 2 and the anticipated Tales of Symphonia.
Tales of Symphonia is our latest game for the GameCube platform. It's a departure from the regular Tales series that we've had in the past because it's turned from 2D to 3D.
Tales of Symphonia's complete real-time 3D battle system features hundreds of special attacks, combos, and spells. With a ton of high-quality anime cutscenes, dozens of mini-games, and side quests, this is one big RPG. So no matter whether you're an action or RPG fan, Namco has you covered with these highly anticipated sequels. I don't know about you guys, but my biggest fear is being submersed in a tub of bugs. Obviously not a fear of Oliver's. What's your fear factor?
Oliver here, I'm at the Rush Entertainment booth. Now while you might not know that name, I'm sure you know this one.
If you're too scared to stick your hand in a giant tank of cockroaches, then Fear Factor Unleashed will let you confront your biggest fears on the PC and console. There's no game footage available yet, but we've got the scoop on what to expect.
It's really extreme sports action. I mean, that's type of it. It's going in and challenging the people that you're playing with, either in your living room or on your PC. There's going to be full scoring system. There's going to be the puke-o-meter, which is going to measure the amount of puke that's coming out of you.
Look for Fear Factor Unleashed this fall, and let's hope you have nerves of steel like I do.
Day 3 of E3 2004 is just getting started, so stick around. We've got Sony and EA booth tours and a whole bunch more.
suburban punk, just like me.
There's only a few hours left of E3 2004, so why don't we check out some family-friendly games? Here at the Buena Vista booth, we've got big news for fans of Tron, people who love Tim Burton, and girls who like to game. So excuse me while I take this phone call. Ugh. Hello? It's time to take a sneak peek at Tron 2.0, its first Xbox Live release. I'm here with the producer, Cliff. Tell me what this means for you.
Well, it means that Tron's going to be on Xbox Live, and that's really exciting. We're taking an award-winning PC game and blowing it out on multiplayer for Xbox Live. We've got new multiplayer content, new weapons, cool new skins, and best of all, you have the ability to take your light cycle anywhere on the map and res it in.
Okay, you saw Tron 2.0 for the Xbox Live. Now it's time to see the release that's coming out for Game Boy Advance. Mike, walk us through it.
Tron 2.0 Killer App for the Game Boy Advance is an incredible game. Basically what it does is it really bridges the storyline between the film and the Xbox Live title. Throughout the storyline, you're going to be playing as either character, so you can play as either character with a completely unique storyline for both, and they're going to be trying to take down this virus called the Corruptor, who's trying to take over and destroy the system.
Okay, another hot Buena Vista title that I can't wait to play is The Nightmare Before Christmas. It looks really cool.
Yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas, The Pumpkin King is a really cool new GBA game that's coming out this fall, and basically it acts as a prequel of sorts to the film that was originally created by Tim Burton. So throughout playing the game, you're going to learn how Jack Skellington became the king of Halloween Town.
Buena Vista recognizes that girls like to game too. We've got Kim Possible, That's So Raven, Lizzie McGuire, the list goes on. We're going to start with Kim Possible 2. Tell us a little bit about all the gadgetry going on here.
Well, Kim Possible 2 is all about gadgets because it starts out every episode. Wade's always stuffed some new gadget into Kim's backpack for each mission. So we've got them all here. We've got the grappling hook, rocket rollerblades, glue bomb lipstick.
We also checked out That's So Raven, based on the Disney Channel original series.
Each level begins with Raven receiving a psychic vision that kind of sets up her objectives, where she can actually swing her purse or spray perfume on other people to make them sneeze and get distracted.
Her swing in action? That is so Raven.
Okay, comrades. Now we will step to the other side of the world and check out Stalker.
One of the features which really makes the game stand out is the life simulation, we call it. This is about non-scripted AI characters, which means like every single creature, monster, NPC have their own reasons to be there.
And your reason for being there? How about a giant field of battle, a range of vehicles from a car to a helicopter, over 12 weapons which can be modified, and knowing which pieces of equipment you need to carry to survive?
You're just an element, you're just a part of it. It's basically changing the standard gameplay experience for first-person shooter.
And that's just scratching the surface. Keep your eyes and ears open for Stalker sometime this winter.
Ever listen to your favorite song and think to yourself, if I had written it, I would have done it a little different? Well, now you've got the chance.
MTV Music Generator 3 puts you in the DJ seat, unlocking the tools to making the hottest club mixes of your favorite songs.
You can take an audio CD of your own collection, shove it in the PS2, grab a chunk of sound, and then mix that up with Outcast. So this screen you can actually go in and manipulate the samples. You've got the waveform for the sample here, so.
In addition to supplying 3,000 samples to play with, publisher Codemasters is using its MTV license to the fullest.
And MTV brought Snoop and Outkast, Sean Paul and Fabulous to the table.
Dan showed me just how to unleash my inner Andre 3000.
This is where you build your track. Each one of these blocks is a piece of sound. That's it. You can take Outkast, which is like quite a laid-back kind of groove, and then add some pretty hard samples to it to really change the feel, and it works.
I'm no Fatboy Slim yet, but thanks to MTV Music Generator, I'm on my way.
Most of us don't even remember games back then, but they've been at it since 1979. We sent Oliver over to Activision to see what they've been up to in 2004.
Activision has been in the business longer than most players at E3, so we stopped by to check out the secret of their success.
We're here celebrating our 25th anniversary of Activision. We have a heritage of providing AAA games, from games like Pitfall 25 years ago to what we're coming out with on June 29th, which is Spider-Man 2.
Activision's first next-gen Spider-Man was a blockbuster, but we wanted to know more about the web-slinger's new free-roaming gameplay.
Unlike a lot of games out there that are free roaming in a horizontal sense, this game is free roaming horizontally and vertically. So the entire city of Manhattan is mapped out for you.
Spider-Man 2 isn't Activision's only movie game. Also in the works are games based on Lemony Snicket and Shark Tales.
This is based on the new upcoming DreamWorks film of the same name. It's about a little fish with some big dreams of being famous. And it takes place in Reef City, which is a fishified New York.
Activision and Marvel are bringing Wolverine back to the game space with the new adventure, X-Men Legends.
We're taking the X-Men in an entirely new direction. This is the first action role-playing game where players get to experience superheroes throughout an epic storyline, upgrading their powers along the way. With 15 playable X-Men throughout the course of the game, the player's always getting a totally new experience every mission they go on.
Finally, we got drafted at Activision's World War II shooter, Call of Duty.
All right, Scott, tell me why I'm sitting in this Jeep. What's this thing doing here?
Well, this is here for Call of Duty Finest Hour, which is an altogether new game in the Call of Duty series, built especially from the ground up for the consoles. We drop you right into the heart of combat to experience the cinematic intensity, chaos of battle, and epic moments of World War II. We take you to Russia, North Africa, Western Europe.
With incredible games like these on tap, we predict Activision will be celebrating its 50th anniversary in grand style.
Well, there are only a few hours left of E3 2004. I'm a little sad, but we do have some great stuff coming up for you, so check back in our next show. We've got EA and Sony booth tours, and we also have a special wish that comes true. Stick around, you don't want to miss it.
You're a suburban punk, just like me.
We're round in the last lap of Floored, and I thought I would share some interesting Floored statistics with you. 9 shows, nearly 40 segments, over 100 interviews, and 5 blisters. Here's where I got one of mine. It's the Sony booth tour. Sony is giving gamers more than they can handle this year. We've got footage of action sequels, and best of all, the exciting new handheld called the PSP. This fall, Jak 3 wraps up the Jak and Dexter trilogy by throwing you in the middle of a barren wasteland. Jak will have an arsenal of new weapons, upgradable mods, and vehicles at his disposal. With realistic ragdoll physics, you can switch between Light Jak and Dark Jak to finish off your enemies for good. Another sneak peek from Sony is Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal. I'm here with Ted Price, who's the president of Insomniac, who's going to tell us a little bit about the game.
This is actually the first online action platformer for the PlayStation 2.
So what's going to be different about this online experience?
We're also offering a whole bunch of features that you would expect to see from a dedicated online game, such as clans, buddy lists, stat tracking, password-protected games, cheat protection, all the things that online consumers expect.
Consumers can also expect up to 20 weapons with up to 4 levels of upgrades, new high-tech gadgets, new vehicles like the Turbo Slider and Hover Ship, and hours of gaming bliss. All right, we made it to Sony PSP. We're about to go in, but I seem to have hit a little bit of a roadblock. We've got black rope and security. Are we allowed in? Can we go check it out?
Well, you know, okay, just for you.
Ah, yes, we're in. Let's do it. So we made it past security. We made it into the Sony PSP area. We're finally going to get our hands on, show you the PSP. Tell me about it.
We're very excited to have the worldwide debut of the PSP this year at E3.
So why would gamers choose the PSP over the newest crop of handhelds?
What we're really excited about is that I think this is a great fusion of what Sony does incredibly well. Games, music, and movies.
What titles are going to be available?
We haven't announced our complete lineup, but at our press conference on Tuesday, EA announced that they were going to support it with about 4 titles at launch.
There's no price or set release date just yet, but with the PSP boasting a 16:9 widescreen LCD, built-in stereo speakers, and close to PlayStation 2 graphics, the other handhelds will have to compete with what looks to be a portable powerhouse. Wow, Sony seems to be on a monstrous roll. But that's not all. They're dropping even more hits like Sly Cooper 2, Gran Turismo 4, and Hot Shots 4. It looks like Sony brought out the big guns for the upcoming year.
All right, so we showed you guys a sneak peek of the new Conquer Live and Reloaded from Microsoft's press conference, and you wanted more. So per your Send an Agent request, here's more of the multiplayer Conquer.
The game is actually going to be like 2 games in one. So on one side is a 16 players class-based team multiplayer game, and on the other side is a totally redone version of Conquer Bad Fur Day.
Eugene showed off a fierce deathmatch game between tribes of bloodthirsty squirrels all bent on world domination, and you can satisfy your inner mammal this fall on Xbox Live.
This is E3's 3rd year participating in the Make-A-Wish Foundation program. Kids from all across the United States who wish to come to E3, get on the gaming floor, play some games. We actually make it happen.
For the 3rd year in a row, we've welcomed the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We sponsor 3 children each year who wish to come to E3.
As we made our way into the show, I got the chance to know Caleb and Andrew, who both have life-threatening illnesses.
Said I wanted to go to E3. So I always wanted to come. I love games and stuff, so it's kind of a big wish.
But before we get to the games, we wanted to learn a little more about Caleb and Andrew.
You want to talk a little bit about your illness?
Sure. I've got cystic fibrosis, and it kind of affects my lungs, my stomach, my digestive system. Kind of going through a tough spot right now.
Well, I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, a form of bone cancer, in, I believe, October of 2002. And so I went through chemotherapy and did some surgery.
E3 was a great experience for both of them. The first game we got to play was Doom 3, the big game that Caleb really wanted to see.
It was really fun. It was neat to play it. I liked Doom for a long time now, and so finally get to play the new one. I was pretty excited about that.
How was your experience at E3?
It was wicked awesome.
At the end of the show, Caleb and Andrew received their very own Nintendo GameCube and some really cool E3 merchandise.
This is really neat. Thank you, yeah, this is great.
Caleb and Andrew really had fun at E3, playing their favorite games. A big thanks to E3 and Make-A-Wish for helping these 2 special kids see one of their dreams come true.
And here's where Oliver earned some of his blisters. It's the EA booth tour.
All right, you guys, I'm here. It's the Electronic Arts booth. This is my biggest story yet. There's so much to cover, so let's get started.
All EA Sports titles for the first time ever, live on Xbox Live and PS2 online. Every one of the products has got a major upgrade, starting with Madden in its 15th year, looks better than ever. All about defense with the new hit stick, defensive hot routes, give you tons of control on the defensive side of the ball. Defense looking good with one-touch control. You can get a lot more control of your offensive and defensive moves.
And what about NASCAR 2005?
You're racing modifieds, trucks, Busch, Nextel Cup, and even production cars like Vipers and Vets through city streets.
But it's more than just sports games that EA offers. With titles like Medal of Honor Pacific Assault, Battlefield 2, and Battlefield Modern Combat, they give you your military fix too.
Medal of Honor Pacific Assault has a brand new engine. They also have dynamic AI. So virtually you can go through a level and not play it the same way twice, and the enemies will respond differently as well.
Battlefield 2 is going to offer, 35 different modern weapon systems, 35 different vehicles, over 30 different modern weapons you can get your hands on. All new squad control. With Battlefield 2, you can actually go in rank from private all the way through general, and as you do so, you unlock new features and privileges inside the gameplay.
Now, when you're all done going to war, you can kick the crap out of your favorite rap star in Def Jam Fight for New York.
This year, we're just trying to deliver the most authentic hip-hop product possible, so we've expanded the artists beyond just Def Jam. We got over 40 artists and celebrities in the game, all of which are playable, all of which are fightable.
For the first time in a Bond game, you get to play the role of the villain in the single and multiplayer sequel, GoldenEye Rogue Agent. Let's go undercover and find out more.
Well, if you love the original gameplay style that was in GoldenEye, you're going to love Rogue Agent. We've really gone back to old school style, run and gun shooting like the original. Fight alongside Pussy Galore, Xenia on the top, Odd Job, Goldfinger, Dr. No, the best villains in the Bond universe. Anyone who's played the original or is into first-person shooters knows that you got to have a strong multiplayer mode. We have split screen, two-way and four-way split screen. We also support online play on the Xbox and PlayStation 2.
Look for GoldenEye to ship this holiday season for all the major consoles. And what's different with the sequel to The Sims?
In Sims 2, the Sims live across a lifetime, so they go from baby to old age. And you're really playing Sims across generations now.
Tolkien fans can rejoice with the newest Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth.
Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth is a real-time strategy game. It'll be out this fall from Electronic Arts. It's all about fighting in the epic battles of all three Peter Jackson films. And you get to play as four different armies and battle all throughout Middle-earth to make sure that you either save Minas Tirith in the land of men, or you bring it down because you can play as the bad guys, the side of Mordor.
What did I tell you? This booth is huge, and there was tons to cover. Well, listen, you guys better start saving up your money because there is a lot in store from EA Sports and EA Games.
Yo, what's up? Hey, Ollie.
What are you doing?
Dude, my feet hurt so bad. I've been everywhere. West Hall, South Hall, Concourse.
Yeah, like I haven't. You know what? I think I know what you can.
What's that? All right, you caught me. But I gotta tell you, we've seen every inch of E3, and man, there's some great stuff out there.
There was some really, really cool stuff out this year. But you know what's really amazing? The handhelds.
And online gaming bigger than ever. My favorite playing Sega, College Hoops 2005, and being a part of a wish coming true for the kids from Make-A-Wish Foundation.
That was so awesome that you did that, Stacy. Now let's take a look at what some other people enjoyed at E3 this year.
I was just over at the EA Games, checking out their new Lord of the Rings games that are coming out. Battle of Middle-earth, awesome.
I like to see Doom 3. I like to see Halo 2. I'm into the shooters.
My favorite is Final Fantasy 12.
All right, we know what I like. We know what they like. What'd you like?
I love Dance Dance Revolution.
You were good.
I was okay, but you know what? I saw a ton of games this year.
I bet you did, but you know what, Ollie? There's one thing you didn't see.
These girls don't know what they're in for. What's up? You want a little something? What's up? Oh! All right, you guys, we had an absolute blast. Thank you so much for joining us for the 10th anniversary of E3.
We really appreciate you getting floored with us.
I'm Oliver Najad.
I'm Stacy Barcelata.
And
we'll see you again next year to get floored.
Come on, Tired Girl, let's go. Come on.
Woo!
Oh! They got me. Oh, yeah! That was perfect. That was so perfect. That was good. Did you get it?
Press tour. Here's the South Hall in 15 seconds. Ready, set.
Look, no sale, no sale, no sale. Can I get an application? Why you laughing?
I'll tell you what, I'll bet all my chips against your chips that this hand is better than yours.
Come on, man, I can't believe you'd ask me to do that.
Too much work and no play makes Oliver an unfriendly boy.
Focus.
I am getting two carne asada, right? Swipe.
You like that one, huh? Yeah, that was big.
Also wanted to leave you with my phone number.
Yeah. Get in.
I got floored at E3.
I'll floor you.
I'll floor you